Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Football section. I'm Tom Webster and this is game week 7. We are currently up to 81 participants in the Red All Over League, but it is never too late to join. And if you want to be a part of the league, I will put the link in the description and the comments down below. Now it's time for quick butchers at game week 6, but before I jump into the usual table and awards, I am going to address my woeful predictions last week. I am sorry to Plymouth fans and I am sorry to Harrogate fans. Um, I basically said you would be awful against Sunderland and Doncaster, respectively, but you actually both won. But in fairness to myself, Harrogate hadn't won a game all season and they hadn't scored at home. So on paper, it looked like an easy win for Doncaster, but we all know football is not played on paper, it's played on grass. So we'll get straight into the top 6 now, and Waymaker FC takes top spot of Ponty Reds with 78 points from the 378 points from 374 points, respectively. Um, Titans drops down to 6, but Blackpool's Tangerine Army will not give up third spot. He's holding on to that for a fourth week, I think. Uh, Now it is time for the top team, and this week's top team is Wigan. They beat Bristol Rovers 4-0 away from home. Bristol had won their previous 2 games at home and have been in decent form going into this match, but Wigan picked up all 11 points here. Now we have a top team, so we have now the banter team, and this week I am going for Bolton. They lost 4-0 at home to Huddersfield. Now, I know Huddersfield are a good side, but Bolton at the beginning of this season would have been expecting to at least put up more of a fight than they did. Now, I am moving on to the star man, and this week it's ex-Red Alex Mowat playing for West Brom now, and he scored a massive 25 points from midfield. Um, Now, if there is a star man, we all know that there has to be a pants pick, and this week it is Luke Hendry, and he scored -2, getting sent off after 42 minutes. And if you had him in your side, he was a pants pick. Now it's time for the People's Champion, and it's Staincross and Diamonds. And Dan Hemingway, he scored 65 points. So Dan, if you want to get in the comments and brag about your win, please do so. This week, his biggest scorer was Madger, who he captained, got him 16 points. However, if he had captained Mengi in defence, it would have got him 26 points. So he missed out a little bit there. Now, this is the part you have all been waiting for. It's the Participation Award, the Well Done for Trying. And this week it is Tarn FC, and he only got 14 points, which, let's be fair, it isn't great. Now, we are moving on to the ultimate team, and this is probably the best bit because I get to hide away now. And this week's ultimate team formation is a 2-3-1. This would have given you maximum points. And starting in goal, we have James Trafford of Burnley scoring 9 points. In defence, we have a pairing of Carl Piagini of Stevenage, who picked up 17, and Luke Chambers of Wigan, who scored 16. In midfield, we have a combination of Alex Mowat of West Brom scoring 25 points, Sam Foley of Barrow scoring 20 points, and Huddersfield's Anthony Evans scoring 18 points. Finally, up top on his own, we have Joe Hugel from Port Vale, scoring 14 points. Now, two teams you could have gone for is Sheffield United and West Brom, both picking up 11 points. But a combination of either of these two and possibly Huddersfield or Wigan would have also given you maximum points. Those were the four scoring 11 this week. If you captained your star man, which was Mowat, with 25 points, it doubles up to 50, and that combines to a maximum of 166 points this week of the ultimate team. If you had any of those players in your team or had any of the teams picking up 11 points, congratulations, you have done well. Now we look ahead to game week 7, and I'm starting off suggesting teams to a team to pick, and that will be Leeds. They face Cardiff away from home, and I think Leeds will have enough to keep a clean sheet and score 2 goals against Cardiff, who sit bottom and have been pretty poor this season. Now, a team you should avoid this week is Pompey. Portsmouth have a difficult journey up to Turf Moor against a Burnley side that is dead in form. And I can't see them getting anything out of this game. In fact, I think they will get pumped quite badly. And now it is time for Transfer Tinder. I'm going to start with Anthony Patterson. He's been good so far this season for Sunderland in goal, and he's been fairly solid at the back. However, they are up against Middlesbrough. It's a bit of a derby, and Middlesbrough are looking decent so far this season, and I always think derbies are a bit unpredictable. So I'm subbing him out of my team this week, so I'm swiping left. The next player I'm going to talk about is Max Cleworth of he's a defender of Wrexham who has picked up some good points this season. They're up against Crawley, who have been fairly poor. They were absolutely awful against us, and I think they will struggle to score against Wrexham. So I'm going to swipe right on him. Now, come to Josh Madger of West Brom. He's been the most productive forward so far this season. He has picked up more points as a forward than any other player. There's just a couple of players that have beaten him, but they are defenders, and they are up against Plymouth, who have a fairly leaky defence. So again, I am swiping right. He should go get some goals. He should score. He should pick up some points. And finally, it's Bristol Rovers defender Taylor Moore. He received a red card and will not be playing this weekend. And you know, if you don't play, you don't score points. So I am swiping left. If he is in your squad, get him out. Now, I wasn't great last week, I will admit, in giving advice. I said don't pick Adam Phillips because he won't be playing, he's injured, and he played. And I said pick Donny because they would hammer Harrogate, and they didn't. In fact, they scored 0 points. So perhaps I'm talking absolute rubbish. And if you don't agree with anything I say, get it in the comments down below. Tell me who you're swiping left and swiping right on this week. Tell me the teams you think you should pick or the teams you should avoid. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, give us a like, a subscribe, and have notifications turned on.